Spoilers ahead for The War Daughter Fallen Heroes. I didn't expect to love this box set as much as I did, but Fallen Heroes surprised me. Not just because of its strong storytelling and clever mystery, but because it gave us generally a new angle on the War Daughter. He's still the same burdened, war weary figure we know, but here he's caught in a story shaped by memory, fractured time, and identities that don't quite belong to anyone, and it's brilliant. The first story, The Dead Sea, opens in a way that feels small, self contained, and almost grounded. Agent Wyatt Smith and Agent Louisa Tidson of the Galactic Investigative Bureau arrive in a quiet little town called Oakview to investigate the murder of Mayor Mortimer Stewart. At first, it's a straight laced detective story with some sci fi dressing, but that sci fi slowly starts to twist its way in. In Oakview, time is broken. No one has a working clock. Every clock face is frozen. The people have given up on time, literally. They say they don't want to be controlled by it anymore. It's one of those subtle world building choices that gives this world some off kilter, eerie feel. Then there's a bizarre in universe TV show called Whose Fault Is It Anyway? That plays constantly. And the person being interrogated in the show, he looks exactly like Wyatt. It's the War Doctor. It's surreal and it starts to blur the line between fiction and memory in a way that's intentionally disorienting. And then there's Beatrice Stewart, the mayor's widow who believes the doctor murdered her son who once worked for UNIT. Her grief becomes a driving force in the narrative, and it adds a personal human angle to the larger mystery. The chemistry between White and Louisa keeps the story engaging. There's banter, tension, and a growing sense that something much stranger is going on. This is a great opener. It sets the tone, builds mystery, and lets the weirdness slowly creep in until you realize you're in for something far bigger than it first seemed. This first story is a 10 out of 10, no question. Story 2 is titled Unit 26. This is where the cracks split wide open. Following the trail from Oakview, Wyatt and Beatrice find themselves deep in unit territory, investigating this old unit building. And that's when they discover something shocking: audio recordings of a doctor who sounds a lot like the third doctor, exiled to Earth, working with unit, and being assisted by Louisa. Yeah, that Louisa. From here, Unit 26 leans into full blown identity horror. Wyatt and Louisa both begin to suspect that they will probably be sent back in time and become both the Doctor and Louisa from Unit, because they actually discovered there's a time travel machine or a machine that can send you back in time in the Unit base. Crazy. They also discovered there's a device that actually warps reality based on memory in the Unit base, which is insane. We also learn the truth about Oakview. Beatrice's son wasn't murdered, he vanished. The townspeople, afraid of the doctor's influence, destroyed their clocks and rejected time entirely. In fear, they had the brigadier trap the doctor in a pocket dimension called Divinity. So yes, the doctor was locked away, not for a crime, but out of panic, out of memory, twisted by a misunderstanding. This is when things go off the handle just a little bit. So Beatrice actually believes that Wyatt will become the doctor, so she shoots him and then Wyatt dies. Beatrice releases the doctor from Divinity, and then Beatrice tries to kill the doctor. And instead, she ends up killing Louisa, who regenerates into Mortimer, the abusive husband of Beatrice. It's cool, shocking, and it makes perfect sense in this distorted version of reality. This story feels like it has a lot going on in it, but it feels so well paced. All the characters feel like they're coming into their own in this second story. It feels quite amazing. Another 10 out of 10 story is the perfect middle story in this box set. Story number 3 is titled Yesterday is Tomorrow and Tomorrow is Today. The final story ties everything together and it doesn't pull its punches. We learn that the planet Falk was reshaped by a artifact, a device that locked onto the War Daughter's memories during his exile. He remembered peace, he remembered Earth, and those memories rewrote the world into a distorted reflection of the 1970s unit stories. Louisa, it turns out, is a Time Lord sent to find the Doctor after he vanished. But the artifact didn't just rewrite time, it rewrote her. Her regeneration wasn't just symbolic, it's permanent. She becomes Mortimer, not just in body, but in mind, a complete overwrite. Anyway, there's some concern because the Doctor and Louisa think the Daleks might actually discover the device that can actually reshape history. So they decide there's only one course of action. They have to destroy Falk. So the Doctor is forced to destroy the planet. He offers the people a way out, but they refuse. They'd rather stay in this illusion because even if it's false, it's their home and they don't have anywhere else. And also, they don't like the Doctor because of all the death and suffering that's happened in the story. It's fantastic. We also find out Beatrice's son, Joe, was vanished from reality. And Beatrice is left with nothing. Her grief, her rage, is all justified now. Because from her perspective, the Doctor failed her again. And in a way he did. This isn't a story where the Doctor wins. It's one where he does what's necessary and loses everything anyway. Fallen, Hero- Fallen Heroes is phenomenal. It's about identity, trauma, and the long, messy consequences of war. It feels unique in a way it peels back the Doctor's past. Not to honor it necessarily, but to weaponize it and challenge it. There's also a few clever nods to past Doctor Who stories sprinkled throughout that I just love. I'm a sucker for those, sorry. Jonathan Carley is doing next level work here. He pulls off Wyatt the War Doctor and another alternate version of the Third Doctor, kind of. His performance grounds the whole box set too. Daisy Ashford is excellent too. And the supporting cast, especially Beatrice, make the emotional stakes hit even harder. This is one of the best War Doctor box sets that Big Finish has produced. Bold, mysterious, tragic, and completely worth your time. The whole box set is just a 10 out of 10. Each story is fantastic. They all continue and you can read them in a straight order without being confused at all. Each one reveals more and more of the mystery. The characters are fantastic. Everything is just great. I love it. The whole box set is 10 out of 10. Easy.